What is going on, Dominators? Dave Dominator here. New year, new me, and same old me actually, because I am slacking like a mofo. But hopefully we get that fixed up. I have a lot of good things coming to the channel. I normally do, every single year I do that recap, not the recap, but like what I'm gonna change, what I'm gonna add, what I'm gonna do, blah 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 blah. All I could say for that is simple. I want to try to do a little more gaming videos. I want to try to make more videos that are fun. Streaming is always going to try to be the case, but it's so hard because I play with a lot of friends most of the time, and we have plans to do something. Um, but at the same time, I don't know how I feel about streaming games with them because they do say stuff that is very offensive. Um, you know, it is offensive to their cultures, so they could, I guess, make the jokes, but at the same time, you guys don't know them like me. I don't want you guys to get offended if you guys have a problem with anything they say, so it's a very difficult thing to stream. And then streaming here is difficult because I can never get the capture card to work. I can never get anything working properly. Now, I have thought about streaming uh, might put my Xbox connected to this and see how that works. Could be a possibility in the future. Um, and yeah, what I can say is that I do want to start a new series that I won't be too stressed out about it, and I won't be freaking out about, it, and um, that might be a series with hockey and possible football. I haven't thought of a series to do with football yet because I don't want to do a cliche series like I always do, which is like save the franchise, and of course, obviously, I make the playoffs like the first year, and it's kind of boring because I do flip the script, I flip the team like that, and it's not as fun because you're not building. Because obviously, a rebuild doesn't take a year, even though that would be amazing. It takes multiple seasons and years, so it would have to be longer than just a season. It would have to be more than that, like 5. But I don't know if I really want to do that. So for football, I can say that I will plan something like a quarterback, maybe a quarterback's journey. Uh, we might see that. For hockey, I can say that we will have a center series or a forward series because um, I would like to do a goaltender series, but I just don't like my goaltending skills. My goaltending skills are bad, and it's not entertaining. So I am working. I'm training actually in the mode like I'm doing 5-on-1, like me versus 5 guys. I'm gonna start doing something like that every day where I could try to get better at my skills, get better at breakaways, get better at just random situations. Because some goals that go in on me are just ridiculous. Like how did I not block it? And like I overthink them all the time. So you have to get in like a goaltender's mindset. I feel like when you're playing it. Um, but those are the two things I can say are coming to the series. Right now, everything else is pretty chill. Um, there will be videos that come out here and there, like little clips and stuff. I kind of want to do a monthly clips video every single month, but I don't know how I feel about that because it's not the clips will be based off of like the week that I did, but I just don't think it'll work out as the way I envision it. So I am going to get into this video right here because this is long overdue. This is very, very long overdue. So what my goal is, I'm going to get over 1 week like I did last time and then go into another week. Um, and then, yeah, that's basically going to be what the deal is. So we're going to start off, first off, because when does this week technically end? So 28th. Okay. So okay. So then this video, screw it. We'll extend this video. This will be from the 28th, and obviously you guys will know this freaking beforehand. I didn't plan this. All the way to January 9th. So yesterday, which was Sunday. This video will be going up a day later, so we'll figure that out. And yeah, so this video is going to be between the reviews and the a mixture between things I want to try to get into. So I think I got most of the things I want to get into. It's a little hard now. I do a lot of stuff outside of this, obviously. I have school. I have like a little like Instagram thing. If you guys want to check that out, follow me. It's a sports thing, and I want to try to do more just around like I don't know. I want to go try to introduce you guys to my life, but like at the same time, I don't know how I feel about that. Especially like my friends, because we have many arguments, and I really kind of don't want you guys to get involved in any of that either, because I don't want negativity on the channel. I want positivity. I want to get into positive, you know, stuff. Nobody wants to deal with negativity. That's why I want to try to make this channel as clean as possible. If you come in here for the sports, you come in here for the sports. If you don't come in here for the sports, then you don't. I obviously do a lot of stuff. And speaking of, this needs to be said. This will be coming soon. It will be coming soon. I need to figure out how. I need to figure out what the heck the deal is. But it is coming soon, hopefully. If it doesn't lag so bad, it will come back. But if it keeps lagging and stuff, I think I'll just let it go. Anyways, let's get right into it. We are not going to be doing... I didn't write down any of the game of the days, I'll be 100% honest. I think I did, but personally, I think I don't have my notebook. It's in my bag, and I don't want to do all that. So, I could remember them once I watch them. But, crazy day to start off. Already have postponements and cancellations, which is not good. But we started off hot. We started off with the Lightning beating the Capitals in overtime. Goaltenders are having trouble. Goaltenders, that little break was not helpful. And COVID is affecting, because these two teams were COVID free, like COVID free, but no, they were COVID like bam. Look at the goaltenders. Do you even know those names? No. So, there was a lot to this game, but the Lightning pulled it through. Even when I thought they weren't, I thought the Canadians at one point were gonna take this game, because it just felt like they were gonna win, and then there was a lot of back and forth, and then the OT winner, it was just the Lightning was like, all right, we're gonna strike. Golden Knights also battling some, like, once again, injuries and all this other stuff. This would be game of the day if this game right down here was not so crazy, because in just like a span of 1 minute, there was like 3 to 4 goals or something like that, because it was literally Vegas, right after they scored again, then the Kings scored, and then Vegas scored again. Ridiculous circumstances. So then all of that, and then basically goals just were coming from every which way. Vegas looked like the better team, looking like they did before they came into the bye, or the little break before the Lightning game. And then the Sharks beat the Coyotes in a shootout, which was probably the craziest thing of all time, because this is the game of the day. The scores were ridiculous. The amount of just craziness that went into the game, it was definitely game of the day. Crazy goals. Definitely was not. If you wanted to watch goals, they made up for it during the break. The Devils beat the Sabres 4-3. Not much. Panthers beat the Rangers 3-4. Or 4-3, I guess you would say. See, this is what happens when I don't make them the week of, because then I just don't remember these games. But all these games are honestly not that bad. Look at close game. Like, come on, well, close-ish. Shorthanded goal. Wait, no, that was a few days ago. I'll talk about that. Blues versus the Oilers. Blues took that victory. I remember this, I think, because I was like, oh my god, the Blues are just taking over. Kraken and this was actually, I think this would be game of the day for me, to be honest. It went to overtime. This was a really good game. because there was many points where I was like, oh crap, well, this is a game that the Kraken could very much win, and I was kind of hoping the Kraken would win, but the Flyers shut that down. So then we had multiple postponements, as you can see. That is still a very thing that I don't understand what's going to happen with all the postponements, because there's a lot of them. So I don't know how it's going to work. But the Canucks continue their little streak, coming back, I think, from their streak. Not very good, though, throughout the whole game. But they did come back at the end. So Canucks are trying to flip it and possibly try to get into a wild card spot. The Lightning got decimated by the Panthers. Panthers did very well. Panthers did very well. I don't know what happened there. Not much to say. They just got their butt beat. Hurricanes take down the Canadiens, shutting them down. Blue Jackets and Predators go to a shootout. I do remember this game. This was actually a really good game, back and forth, pretty much. And I just think that the Predators... I thought the Predators won this game until I forget what. There was a big... I'm trying to remember. This is what happened. Like I said, this is what happens when you don't do it on time. Predators had a big moment and it failed. And I think it was just like, that's when you kind of knew the Blue Jackets shifted the turn. Islanders get a victory, and good for them. Beat the Sabres 4-1. Subban not having a blast. The Flames beat the Kraken, and honestly, this was a very good game. I thought for sure the Kraken would win this one in crazy fashion because of the first goal. When your old captain scores against you, that is just an immediate momentum turner. And I thought for sure that it would be done. And then they come out of the gate really good. I literally thought the Kraken had this. But the Flames said, nope, we're winning this, we're taking it, and they won. Kings versus the Canucks. This was not a good game, but it wasn't a bad game. It was just like chances. Both teams made some good saves. Both teams had really good shot opportunities. None of them just could catch it. Sharks and Flyers, probably the game of the day. Sharks and Flyers in overtime did pretty good. One of the same thing. It was kind of like, all right, first goal scored, then no score, and then double score. It was like, come on now. The Devils beat the Oilers 5-6, game of the day. This was really good. Both goaltenders had problems. Both of them did not like some of the goals that went in. Both had a rough day, I think. Golden Knights beat the Ducks 3-1. Brossoit did very well again. They almost got the shutout. I remember this. They almost got the shutout, but in like the last second, they scored in a power play goal, and everyone was mad because it's like we haven't had a shutout this year, and everyone wanted one, and the Ducks stopped them. But at that point, the game was already gone unless they could score really quick. The Rangers beat the Lightning in a shutout. I think this would be an upset. I don't know. Rangers are doing really well, so I don't know if it's a really big upset. Capitals beat the Red Wings 3-1. Another good game. Ovechkin had a great game as well. More games postponed. In the new year, new me. The Bruins beat the Sabres in overtime. This was a really good game. I would probably say, unless there was another one. No, that was game of the day. It was pretty good. Because there was a moment where I was like, Sabres might steal it, but they didn't. Panthers beat the Canadiens. Not a big shocker. Let's just move on. Hurricanes destroyed the Blue Jackets, and I didn't see this game, but obviously something was wrong. Predators beat the Blackhawks 6-1. They were battling a lot of COVID issues, the Blackhawks, I think, around this time. So, but still, they just got destroyed. Islanders beat the Oilers in overtime 3-2. Overtime winner. I think I remember this game, and it was pretty much a win-win. It was a win somebody's gonna freaking fail, and the Oilers have been struggling crazy as of late, and I don't understand it. The Blues beat the Wild 6-4. This was, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was. This was the outdoor game. This was really good. It was fun. Negative, like 8 or 6 degrees. They said it was like one of the coldest events in American sports history, or like in America or something like that. I think it still didn't beat the highest, but the Maple Leafs destroyed the Senators. Murray and everyone is Matt Murray came out. I didn't even know Matt Murray was even back in the actual league. I'll be honest. I thought they kept him in the AHL, ready to trade him. He's been silent. That is one guy that I've been trying to look for, and I just totally forgot. Demko and the Canucks destroy their rivals, the Kraken. Golly, every time I read it, it makes no sense. The Kraken 5-2. I don't know what it is, but right now the Kraken are not doing good against their divisional rivals. I don't think they've won a game against the divisional rivals. They haven't beat Vegas. They haven't beat the Canucks. They haven't beaten. So what? I don't know. They might have, and I might be just missing it. But Kings beat the Flyers. This was an alright game. I remember this. Kings really just destroyed them. Like, I think the Kings decimated them. Flyers got lucky a few times, but Rangers once again beat the Lightning 4-0. I think that was crazy. The shutout against Vasilevsky. I thought Vasilevsky was going to come out and do the opposite and shut them out, but yeah, that happened. Bruins beat the Red Wings 5-1. The Penguins beat the Sharks 8. Okay, this was a good game because if I'm not mistaken, two different guys got a hat trick. Am I right? Yeah, two different guys got a hat trick. That's crazy. That only happens in the game. Avalanche beat the Ducks 4-2. Devils beat the Capitals in overtime. This was a really good game. I think this would win game of the day. This was a good game. Overtime, I thought the Capitals might have had it in overtime, but they did not. The Jets beat the Golden Knights in overtime. This was a game that you will hear me talk about it at least 2 more times, maybe but this was a game where the Knights played well. Then all of a sudden they fell apart, and then they decided to win the game late, and it already bit them. First of all, they get a late goal to tie the game, and that's when I thought, oh, they're going to pull the game that they did in Dallas, and they're going to score that, and then they go to overtime. We haven't lost in overtime in over a year. Last season, we didn't lose in overtime in the regular season, not playoffs, but in the regular season, didn't lose in overtime. And then I don't remember the last time we did this season before. But we definitely didn't lose any playoff. The playoff games we lost in overtime, 2 of them. But yeah, the Flames beat the Blackhawks 5-1. That's a surprise. And then the Stars and Coyotes got postponed. The Rangers were the only game on against the Oilers, but they did win and had a good game. The Rangers are on a hot streak. 2 games were postponed. I think the thing is there's something wrong in Canada right now is that they're changing rules. So I don't know what's going to happen with all that. But Bruins beat the Devils 5-3. Panthers beat the Flames 6-2. Lightning had a good game, 7-2. Red Wings beat the Sharks 6-2. Avalanche beat the This was a good game. This was a great overtime winner. The Avalanche had a very good game. And the overtime goal was ridiculous. It was definitely trending all over. Jets beat the Coyotes 3-1, building momentum. Predators beat the Knights 3-2, with Logan Thompson making his first NHL start. Logan Thompson didn't do bad at all, I don't think. I think it was another situation where the Knights decided to win a game late. I felt like it was already done. When there was 0-0 the first period, I said, okay, it could happen. We could have a good game. And then it was 2-0. And I was like, okay, both of those goals were interesting. Let's see what happens. Then they come out and score again, and I'm like, oh my god, we're done. Like, our team doesn't want to win. It was a situation where I will talk one more time about because it's happened in the last 3 games. But we they start off interesting, and they just don't build momentum. They don't feel like they want to win. It's weird, and it didn't happen. They decided to win a little late, and it was too bad, too late. Ducks beat the Flyers 4-1. Gibson had a really good game. 2 games postponed. Gosh, when am I gonna not have to say that? Maple Leafs beat the Oilers 4-2. This was a good game. Campbell had a good game and so many good saves. Penguins had a good game as well. This would be game of the day. 5-3 win. Jari and Bennington did both have an interesting nights, but at the end of the day, Penguins are a better team. Wild beat the Bruins 3-2. Sharks beat the Sabres 3-2. Lightning beat the Flames 4-1. Devils beat the Jackets. 3-1. Penguins beat the Flyers 6-2. Penguins beat the Stars 5-6. Our Stars beat the Panthers 6-5 in a shootout. Game of the day. This was a game that I thought that Panthers were going to win in overtime. So when they didn't win it in overtime, I was like, oh shoot, it's 50-50. Avalanche destroy the Jets, breaking their spirits is what a lot of people said. Coyotes had a good game against the Blackhawks, beating Fleury multiple times. Good game. I honestly want to say that this was a game of the day candidate because of how interesting it was. The Rangers did get destroyed by the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights made they got Leonard back, which was big, and because Brossoit just got hurt, that's why Logan Thompson had to step in the game. And now Leonard's back. They had a really good game overall. The goal that passed, Leonard's been giving those up like all season, so it was one of those where I was just like, okay. And it was a return game for the former head coach and Ryan Reeves. So obviously that was a win that we really needed. We also needed the one against Fleury, but that didn't happen. Spoiler alert. Predators beat the Kings 4-2. This was a good game. Both goaltenders did well. You always like when it's a good goaltending duo going against each other because it just makes it ever much better. Game of the day, we'll say, is this game. Hurricanes beat the Flames 6-3. Blues beat the Capitals 5-1. Not much to say. Stars beat the Penguins 3-2. Really good game. Same with this one. Avalanche beat the Maple Leafs 5-3. 5-4, I mean. Bruins beat the Lightning 5-2. Sharks beat the Flyers in overtime. Game of the day would probably be this one, by the way. Sharks beat the Flyers in overtime. This was a good game overall. Yeah, it didn't get started until late, so it was kind of boring. Panthers beat the Hurricanes in overtime. A lot of overtime games. Oh no, scratch that. That's not game of the day. I forgot this game was on today. Jackets beat the Devils. The Predators beat the Coyotes. This is game of the day. Wild beat the Capitals in a shootout. Because if I'm not mistaken, the first goal scored by Minnesota wasn't even scored by Minnesota. It was scored because the Capitals scored it in their own net when it was in an empty net situation for a delayed penalty. Now, I say let in. Obviously, they hit his stick, the momentum. I don't know what happened. I've seen the clip. It looks like he went for a pass, but it got hit as he passed it, so he didn't get all of the stick. And it ended up going in the back of the net, and then it ended up biting them in the ass because then right afterwards, in the next period, they score, and then in overtime, they don't get it done, but they do win it in the shootout. Crazy. Fleury made his return to Vegas. One of the most emotional things. I had a crazy weekend. This was emotional for every Vegas fan seeing Fleury back in a different uniform, the guy who built Vegas as a sports friend, like as a sports team, as not like sports wouldn't exist without Fleury in Vegas. So it was a very big moment. Leonard versus Fleury had a great moment during warm-ups, and I really enjoyed seeing that because everyone keeps putting them against each other, and it's not that. They like each other as competitors. They are basically friends. When you're backing up each other, you know, they have a work relationship. It happens. And both guys respect each other a lot, and I was very happy to see them talk for a very long period of time during warm-ups. And this was a game where they started off like they wanted to win this game. And then they decided to win it later, but it was too late. They already scored 2 goals, and I just felt like they didn't want to win this game. They wanted to win it late, and that's when Fleury knows that this is my time to shine, and he made incredible saves, at least 2 that I remember, especially towards the end. And that's a situation where the Knights need to learn how to just keep the gas on the pedal. The Rangers beat the Ducks 4-1, and the Red Wings lose to the Kings. And then there was postponements galore, and now I believe this is the last game. So the Blues beat the Stars in a 2-1 victory. Bennington versus Hovey, and the Ducks beat the Red Wings 4-3 in shootout. So what is next? There's a few games on tonight. A lot of postponements. There's a lot of games that there's only one postponement on that day. So. Real quick, I do want to talk about one thing that I don't really talk about, and we will talk about that in a second. Let me get at least a thing out. I want to talk about the NFL real quick. I know this is a hockey thing, but I just want to talk about the NFL real quick because the NFL had one of the craziest weeks I have ever seen. Week 18 was definitely a week where everyone was prepared and everyone was prepared for this game. Everyone was ready for these games because this was the last or the first ever week 18. On Saturday, the Chiefs did very well. The Cowboys did well. But one of the craziest things I have to say is the playoff situation. In the NFC, it wasn't that big. Really, all we needed to see was the 49ers. If they won, they're in the playoffs. If they lost, they were out. They went to overtime and they won. So, boom. The NFC was done. But the AFC had 2 teams that were still very much alive. 3 teams that were very much alive. And technically 4. So there was 3 teams in the hunt, but there was 4 teams that needed to lock down, that were trying to lock down a spot. All the Colts had to do was win, and they locked it in. The Raiders had to win. They locked in a spot. The Steelers needed Jacksonville to win, them to win their game, and this game to not end in a tie. Ravens needed like 3 things to happen. They needed Jacksonville to win. They needed New England to win. I think it was New England to win. Or maybe it was, I don't remember. But I think it was, they needed New England to win. And I think it was something else. And then they were in the playoffs. And this not to end at the time, probably. But the Jaguars did what I knew they were going to do. I said the Jaguars haven't lost a game at home against the Colts in like 5 times. This time they're not going to do it. I was right about that, and they won. Then this game went to overtime. They kicked the field goal. I literally woke up, and I woke up early because I wanted to see Big Ben's last NFL game. And I didn't even see I wouldn't have imagined I literally wrote them out the playoffs. I already did. I was like, I don't know if it's going to happen because a lot of things need to happen, but you never know. But this is more likely Ben's last game. And he won, and I was happy because it was like, well, they have a shot. But Ben, if this game ends in a tie, Ben goes out a winner. Because we know that's not going to be the case when they go against the Chiefs. But then, the Raiders and the Chargers played the best game of the year by far. They go to overtime. Both teams get the possession. And both teams get the possession. And they actually pulled off one of the most insane things because everyone, when they went to overtime, said, oh my god, they're 10 minutes away from getting a tie. An on-purpose tie. The Raiders go downfield, and this is a rumor. They go downfield. They get the first down. When they called the timeout, that is when they said, we're kicking the field goal because they were just going to let the clock run down. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, that's ridiculous because one decision messed up everything for the Chargers. The Raiders kicked the game-winning field goal. Their kicker has not missed in the new arena, the stadium, the whole time it's been a thing. So 2 years. They win the game and put the Steelers in the playoffs and put themselves in the playoffs. Two teams I really respect, two teams I'm rooting for. Now, obviously, the Steelers are going to have to do a lot because to beat the Chiefs is going to be very, very difficult. But never say never. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's very unlikely, but anything can happen. Especially because they wiped the floor with them like 3 weeks ago. But who knows? If you can get anything can happen. And like I said in here too, because these two teams played against each other. But I think Derek Carr, when he gets in the playoffs, he might go crazy. So thank you guys for the video episode. And sorry it's late again, but we're gonna work through it. We'll see what happens in the channel, and adios. And we will see what happens in the future. Have a good year. Have a good 2022. Let's have a good year. Subscribe if you guys want more content, and want to do other stuff. Have more people come to my channel, because if I see my channel growing and everything else, maybe I'll even be 10 times dedicated to get more content. I'm actually trying to get more content out to you guys, but we'll have to see how that goes during the week. Maybe need to get my channel monetized so I get a new chair, because I can't handle this squeak. Alright, Dominate the World Dominators, David Dominators out. Peace.